Today is not the 25th anniversary of Street Fighter II. That actually happened last week, on February 14th. But the fact that I'm several days late is perfect, because up until recently, not even Capcom knew when Street Fighter was born. Believe it or not, our story begins long before Necalli, Rashid, and Fang joined the Street Fighter V roster. In fact, forget Street Fighter V, we have to go back so far that Street Fighter IV wasn't even on the horizon. To properly tell this tale, we need to take a trip back to 2004, when Capcom decided to release Street Fighter Anniversary Collection on PlayStation 2. Concerned gamers were getting sick of straight ports. Capcom took a novel approach to Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. From World Warriors to hyper fighting, this game features a bizarre mix of every Street Fighter II incarnation. It's a strange hybrid that doesn't always work. The longtime fans were excited for a unique take on the popular fighting franchise. But as everybody else pit the slow and sluggish characters from the original against their super turbo counterparts, I was left scratching my head by the false advertising. It's not just the fact that the collection left out the original Street Fighter. That's something I had come to expect from Capcom. What confused me the most was the name, which seemingly implies 2004 was some sort of big anniversary for the Street Fighter series. It's not. The back of the box clearly states that this collection is celebrating 15 years of Street Fighter supremacy, which suggests the game debuted in 1989. The original Street Fighter hit arcades in 1987, making 2004 the 17th anniversary. Of course, this collection doesn't even include the original Street Fighter, so perhaps they were thinking it had been 15 years since Street Fighter II, but even then, they aren't close. As demonstrated by this year's 25th anniversary, arcade gamers were introduced to the World Warriors in 1991. Apparently Capcom realized that nobody cares about the 13th anniversary. As if this matter isn't confusing enough, Capcom used the same verbiage 1 year later when Street Fighter Anniversary hit Xbox. Of all the stupid decisions Capcom has made throughout the years, celebrating Street Fighter's 15th anniversary 2 years in a row is one of the worst. After writing about it on Defunct Games, I figured this would be the last I would ever hear about Capcom's counting problems. But lo and behold, the same thing happened 5 years later. This time around, Capcom claimed that it was the 20th anniversary, and therefore they had justification to release a new Street Fighter game and movie. Of course, everybody knows Capcom doesn't need a special occasion to release a new Street Fighter game, but clearly somebody thought it would be a good way to get more media exposure. If you've already done the math, then you know that 2009 is not the 20th anniversary of Street Fighter. At best, it's the 5th anniversary of the last time Capcom botched celebrating an anniversary. To reiterate, Street Fighter would have been 22 in 2009. About the closest you get to the anniversary is NEC's Street Fighter port for the TurboGrafx-CD console. This near-perfect port was first released in Japan in 1988, while the American version didn't show up until 1 year later. So could it be that the anniversary Capcom is celebrating is none other than that of Fighting Street? If that was the case, wouldn't they just call it the Fighting Street 20th anniversary? No, I refuse to believe that Capcom's numbering system started with a port of a 2-year-old arcade game. There's no way Capcom would celebrate the anniversary of a TurboGrafx-CD port. And just for fun, there's one more wrinkle to our story. You see, in 2006, when Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li was first announced, Variety reported it this way: Hyde Park and Capcom's film is targeted to bow in 2008, the 20th anniversary of the game franchise. So, which is it? 2008 or 2009? By this point, it's starting to feel like Capcom is taking advantage of the fact that nobody remembers the original Street Fighter. At best, you remember the cabinet with the big hand-breaking buttons, not the year it came out. That's no excuse. There's no reason Capcom can't keep their dates straight. Here's what I don't understand. Capcom doesn't need an excuse to release a new Street Fighter, so why go to all this trouble to launch on or around anniversaries, both real and fake? Do they honestly believe Street Fighter won't sell if it doesn't magically coincide with a birthday nobody remembers? Surely they should have more confidence in the series than that. Maybe if Capcom spent less time trying to be cute about Anniversaries, they'd be able to fix Street Fighter V's online issues. Hey, thanks for watching our video. This is just the first of several features about Street Fighter going up in the next week. Oddly enough, none of these features are about Street Fighter V, but that shouldn't keep you from tuning in. I assure you that we'll tackle topics that nobody else has broached. Anyway, I'm currently working on a bunch of reviews, including Forced Showdown and Blue Rider. There's other stuff coming soon, but I'm running out of time for this promo. Anyway, do me a favor and click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.